Shalom Uvracha. On the meeting between Yehuda and Yosef, the Medrash brings the pasuk, Ki hine hamalachim no'adu. For behold, the kings met each other. They encountered one another. We have two kings, Yehuda, the leader of the tribes, and Yosef, the king over Egypt, to whom all of the tribes prostrate themselves. They all bow down to Yosef. But of the two of them, only one has the merit of perpetuating the kingship within the Jewish people. And that's Yehuda. Yehuda bequeaths the Malchus, the kingship, to his descendants, to David, Melech Israel, and indeed to Melech HaMashiach, who will also be from the lineage of David, and from Yehuda. And Yosef is unable to do this. Yosef does not bequeath the Malchus onto his offspring. Why? What's the difference between the kingship of Yehuda and Yosef, these two different leaders, two different kings, and from them only one would be able to bequeath, to perpetuate the kingship? I think the answer is a different model of leadership. Yosef's leadership was top-down. Yosef was Abir Yaakov. He continued on Yaakov. He himself, from all of the Shvatim, was able to beget his own Shvatim, Ephraim and Menashe. And he led from above all the other tribes. That's why the other tribes were also jealous of him. His brothers despised him. They were jealous of him because his leadership was a top-down leadership. That was indeed the leadership of Shaul HaMelech, who was also from Yosef, from Binyamin, which is the same idea as Yosef. But Shaul's leadership was unable to withstand the test of time. Shaul was Meroima Ma'am. The pasuk says he was Mishichmoi V'malo. He was taller than everybody else. The pasuk says there was nobody in the entire Jewish people who was like Shaul HaMelech. But such a leadership that comes from a place of perfection, a place like Yosef that was able to withstand all temptation, cannot last. And the lasting leadership, the lasting kingship was from Yehuda. Yehuda, who knew how to fail, but he also knew how to do tshuva. And his leadership, like Yaakov Avinu says at the end of Sefer Parashas, was from within. Yehuda, ata yoducha achecha. Your brothers will recognize you. Your leadership won't come top down. It will come from within the people. And that's a leadership that can be stable. That's a leadership that can be lasting. Shlomo HaMelech, the son of David, says that he is b'toich amcha, among your people. He says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Asher b'charta, you chose them, and I'm a leader from within. And that's a leadership that can last. And this is relevant to nowadays because we have a model which is a democratic model. The democratic model, the Abarbanel, already praises the democracy he knew from Venice. And nowadays we know that democracies are flawed, they're far from being perfect. But the one virtue that they do have is that it's a leadership model from within. A leadership model that knows failure, that doesn't have any aspirations to perfection. But nevertheless, it's able to lead from within. And perhaps it's not for nothing that specifically now, towards the end of days, the model that we live in is a democratic model. And halavai, that this democratic model of leadership should be able to bring the leadership of Mashiach ben David, a leadership from within the people, not from top down, but from within. And that should bring us the Malchus Shamayim, the Malchus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, among us, B'soich Amcha, among the people, the Jewish people, Bimheira B'yameinu. We should all have a beautiful Shabbos.